So in here, I'm gonna go over just two things. Basically, how to plug those textures, meaning the base color, also known as diffuse, and also the bump map. Explain what the bump map is into your Arnold shader, and then to show how to tile the textures using the repeat UV feature for the place 2D texture node. So we'll close that. So here's the scene from the previous videos. So far, from the looks of it, the top cameras is back. So I need to go into panels, perspective, perspective 1, the free-flowing camera. But in here, this should have been perspective camera, but it's not. So I need to go to panels, perspective, perspective. As you can see, it's still locked out, right? Again, that's over here. I can select the camera. As you can see, it's locked out, and I can unlock it. And so I'm just gonna lock it back so it's stationary. I'm gonna explain why this is locked out. I mean, which I already did, but anyway. So in here we are. In here, I have my textures. Right click, view, extra large. And I placed them into the lighting shaders rendering folder, which should be in the W drive. And here's the textures folder. And here's a whole bunch of textures. Color and the bump map. Color, the bump map. Color and its bump map. Color and its bump map. Diffuse basically means color. D-I-F-F means diffuse. Okay. So that's where you could find it. I'm gonna place it, or I have already placed it into our W drive class folder, into the lighting, shading and rendering folder, which is here, and then the textures folder. So what you want to do is just basically grab all of it, and then Control C as in Charlie to copy it. You want to go to your documents, Maya, projects, and I'm gonna place it into the project 3 folder, and then source images, and you could see the EXR images already. I'm just gonna do Control V as in Victor. So there's our textures. Right click and sort by type, so you can kind of just see. All right, one last thing. This thing right here where it says .tx, this gets generated when renders are made. So I'm just letting everyone know. All right, so here we are. From here, what I'm gonna do is pull up the hypershade, the little cue ball looking thing, the teal colored cue ball. And looks like I have something here. Press F, select it and press F. Yeah, so I don't need that right now. I'm gonna click on the 3 stars. That's gonna wipe it. So again, 3 stars is to wipe it. The main icons typically for now that I want to share is the 3 stars. This one right here, input and output connections, and this one right here, graph materials on selected objects. So those are the 3 ones I want to share about that regarding the hypershade. Okay, and then so what I'm going to do is first to discuss about where I select the model, any one of these, and if I click on this, graph materials on selected objects. So this is what it shows. Okay, so this is your shader. This is your shader. This thing here, from what I remember, it gets attached when you apply the shader to the 3D model. This gets automatically attached. But you don't want to delete this. Just leave this alone. Leave it alone. Right. So here's the shader. This, think of this as a container, like a box, a container, and this container houses your texture. This thing right here, this little container, or they call it a node, N-O-D as in David, E as in Edward, node. This node, it basically is a utility where if I select it, go into the attribute editor for it, this is where you can repeat the textures. See over here? If I go 1 by 1, see, remember this is from the tutorials. So I'm just gonna leave that 1 by 1. And what I'm gonna do is, let me see. Okay, 1 second. For now, I just wanna keep things simple. So for example here, the rubber ball shader, I'm gonna just have it to show the attribute editor. I'm gonna grab this and just I'm gonna press delete, so it wipes it off. And then if I select this, right click and hold refresh swatch. Okay, now it updates. So if I hold down the Alt key and right mouse click and hold both of them like that, it kind of wakes up the I guess the viewer, you could say, or the real-time viewing. So it's all black. The reason why is that whenever I delete that texture node, right, it just automatically makes the default color dark. So I select this, and let's just give it, you know, just a grayish color. And then grab this, also this one right here, give that a grayish color, this one grayish color, this one grayish color, kind of a baseline again. I had initially put the UV textures just to make sure that the patterns are good and repeating well. So yeah, so if it kind of confuses you, my apologies. Anyhow, so here we are. Okay, let me see. I think I'm gonna work with the box. I select the box. I wanna clear this away, and the way you clear it away again is this icon, the 3 stars, clear graph, boom. And to select the shader for this, right, you go click on this, graph materials, boom. This one, I click it, and here we are. Now, in order to plug the textures, right, I close everything. I only want to look at the base, because if you have all this open, it's overwhelming. So color, right, don't bother with all this other stuff. Let's keep it simple. Under color, checker box, click it. It brings up this floating panel. All this stuff, don't get overwhelmed. Just click on file. As soon as you click on file, that floating panel, it disappeared, but now this and this is connected to this. So again, this is what you call a node based system. So this is a container. That's, if I zoom in holding Alt and middle mouse, right, this connects to here, base color. Its out color, meaning the color of this, whatever this thing is holding, plugs into the base color of this shader. So I select this, and I select this, and here, ignore all this stuff, just go into its folder, and that sends you directly to the project 3 blah 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 source images. directory, and let's see if I choose, you know what, I'll choose wait, I'll do name, and then I guess this brick wall diffuse. Open. And to see the texture, right, if you have just this, right, if you press 6, you can see the texture. 5 will only show the gray shading. 6 shows the texture. If you still do not see the texture even when pressing 6, you can go under shading. Make sure this is unchecked. Okay, so there's that. And I select the file 1. I want to just copy this brick wall diffuse 4K. Control C. In here, Control V as in Victor. Press Enter. It's good to have it named, right? That way, you know, you can verify it by reading it. Just trust me, you're gonna want to do this, because I used to be where I lazy and just not label things. It comes back to get in your way later. Alright, so as you can see, here it is. And if I want to tile it, right, you select the 2D texture node, you go under the repeat UV. You can just ignore all this stuff. Just gotta look over here, maybe put like 5 by 5. Boom. See? Perfectly tiling. Maybe I'll put like, I don't know, 3 by 3. Something like that. Okay. Then, okay. Let me see. Let's say I grab the ball. And then before I do that, I'm gonna just hit the 3 stars, make everything go away. I'm gonna click on this, graph materials from the selected objects. Bing. This is your rubber ball shader. Just don't worry about that for now. That's for a little bit later, where I'm gonna make a rubber ball shader tuned, meaning to tune the shader to make it look like a rubber ball. But for now, I just want to practice with textures plugging in. Here we are. Again, close everything. Just look at the base and color, right? Checker box, click it. This pops up. Click on File. Boom. And then this thing happens again. And here's that thing. So here, folder, boom. And I don't know, let's just choose something like sort by type. Do not plug the EXRs. I repeat, do not plug the EXRs, only JPEGs. Maybe I'll choose rough linen diffuse. Open. I'm gonna just copy this. Be careful not to select the / just that, hit enter. Now if I zoom in, see, this is a 2D texture, right? There you go. Okay. And the reason why these look fairly decent is that if I select it and then R node, modeling, R node, right, UV editor, because of this, everything's nicely laid out. That's the reason why, for the UVs. Okay, so I placed that in that. Alright, so that was 15 minutes. I want to go over the bump map. 1 second. Alright, so one last thing for the bump map. I select the shader, right? Attribute editor, close this, close everything out. And from there, all you want to do is go into this slot called geometry, right? And this is pertaining to the bump map. And then you want to click on under the bump mapping, it's checkerbox. Same thing pops up. You just click on file and it's going to load up here. Click, and there you go. So this is another little utility node, which I'll talk about. And then this is the image container node for the bump map. I select it, I click on the folder, and then from here I find the rough linen bump, because it's for the rough linen. This is the color, right? But I want the bump. Hit open, boom. Now select it. I gotta also name it. Control C, Control V, hit enter. There, see how organized this is, where you can kind of read and know where everything goes. That alone helps out tremendously. And then the other thing, so this tiling texture for the, oh, you see here, see how you could feel that it looks crinkly, right? That's because of the bump map. But what I want to do is just share this. So this is the repeat UV, right? For the ball, right? But at the same time, the bump map, right, it has its own little repeat UV. The issue of what I want to get across is that, let's say this place 2D texture, right, for the color. This is the color. This is the repeater for that color. If I put like, say, 2 by 2, okay, then also the bump map, which is the same thing as this but just grayscale, its repeater needs to match, because this one, this guy right here, is 2 by 2, whereas this one for the bump map, the grayscale, which is, if I click on view, is this, right? Its repeater is only 1 by 1. Now it's a pain in the butt, and you will get into mistakes because of just human nature to accidentally forget things, right? Because they won't match up. So this, I need to also plug it into this. So it may sound a little bit intimidating, but I'm just gonna try to show it as best as I can, right? So 1 second. All you gotta do is, once this is established, it's 2 by 2, right? This here says out UV. In here, I left click and hold. I drag it, and I'm gonna dump it where this used to be. Boom. So that's plugged into there. And then after that, so I just connected it. So now this 2D texture is driving, its repeater is driving the rough linen grayscale image, as well as the color. So this was what, 2 by 2. I had did some, let me see what just happened there. Oh yeah, so I paused the video for a moment just to double check, and yeah, it's that was supposed to be 2 by 2. Anyhow, so this repeater is plugged into the color as well as the grayscale bump map. This repeater, I don't need it anymore, so I can just kill it off and delete that, and we're pretty much good. If you try to connect this to this, it won't let you, so don't bother. I'm just gonna grab this. There's one other thing where this is the grayscale, right? So if I click on view one more time so you can see grayscale, and this one is the, when I click on view, shows the color, right? So you can kind of see what those are. This guy after you do all of that, the color space, just make sure to go under utility, set to raw. It'll give you a little error or whatever warning, just ignore it. That's all you have to do. There's technicalities regarding this explanation. It gets really in depth technically. Something called linear workflow and a whole bunch of other stuff that when you're first learning it'll drive you insane. But just trust me at it. Just set it to raw and you'll be okay. And that's pretty much it for that. So unfortunately it took over 15 minutes at 21 minutes. I couldn't rush it, you know. If I rush it, it just makes it worse. So yeah, I'm gonna explain more about this and things like that later. But in here, spacebar, as you can see, right? This is with the bump map. If I were to let me see here, if I were to disconnect it, see, that's what it looks like. If I undo it, undoing the disconnection, it comes back. So basically the bump map just makes it literally bumpy. It simulates a weathered, textured feel, and it's pound for pound next to the color, the bump map. It helps a lot too. Alright, I forgot one last thing. I want to add the bump to the brick wall texture. I was gonna probably just try and make another video, but I don't want to just close it like that. It's gonna run longer than 15 minutes, almost probably like what, I don't know, 20 some odd minutes. So here we are, rubber ball shader for that. I don't want it, so I click on the 3 stars, makes everything go away. And what I want to do is click on this matte gloss shader, which was for this. So matte gloss shader. Then I click on this, graphic materials. No, not that one, this one. Input output connections. Boom. Yeah, just a good reminder about that too. Anyway, so this one is that. To pump in the bump map for that, you select this one. In here, right under geometry, again, checker box for the bump map. Click it. Brings up this. You want to create the file node container. Click that. It automatically does this little set. And file number 2, folder, brick wall bump. Right, see before nothing. Bump, open. It does this. See, it looks pretty nasty. But we have to remember that this 2D texture for the color, right? Because it says diff, meaning diffuse. Diffuse means basically color, right? The repeater is 3x3, whereas this one, file 2, so I gotta name it brick bump 4K copy. Paste it in here. Control V is to paste it. Just hit enter so you can read it well. This one only has 1x1. So again, it's a good practice where I'm just gonna grab this, separate like that, and then this out UV, you left click it, left click and hold, drag it, and just chuck it in here, let go, boom. See how it updated? So if I undo it, there, see? And I'm gonna show it again. Bing, see how everything lined up. And this, just backspace, kill it off. So, but like I said, don't worry about this, because even if you try, you can't connect it, you know. And then one last thing for this, again, and anything with the bump map, you go select the container for it. You go here, right? See brick wall bump. See how important the naming is. It verifies things. Color space, utility set to raw. Gives a little error or warning message, and you're set.